Praise God. We give the Lord praise and honor and glory. You are tuned into the Optimal You with yours truly, your life coach and host, Renee. And this is the YouTube segment. Now, in the YouTube segment, we talk about lots and lots of things, right? We talk about things that are interesting. What I'm saying, talk about. We talk about things that are informative, and we talk about things that we know will benefit the listeners. So today is a very what should I say, important day, because we want to talk about something that so often we um sidestep. We don't spend a lot of time on it. The matter of insurance. Sometimes we talk about insurance and we go, do I really need insurance? I mean, you know, do I really need insurance? I mean, the Lord covers and the Lord protects. What am I doing with insurance? But I want to let you know today that insurance is critical. Insurance is critical. So today we have a guest, you know, Marathon has become our pals. Okay. And they're going to be talking to us today. No, today is not Mr. Douglas as we are used to. Can I tell you? We have somebody else. And I can probably say this person is my friend. I hope he sees me as his friend. But I'm going to allow him to jump on and he's going to introduce himself. Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. Are you hearing me clearly?
Oh, loud and clear.
Oh,
Loud and clear.
that's great.
For the
It's
benefit of our viewers and listeners, can you introduce yourself and tell us the company that you represent, please?
well, my name is Corey Solomon. Of course, I am a colleague of Mr. Douglas. I'm also at Marathon Insurance Brokers as a financial advisor there. All right. I'm also a pastor. I'm a musician, and so many things. But I thank you for the opportunity for being here to be able to share some ideas with you.
What's the name of your church, Pastor Corey?
It's Royal Ambassadors Church of Christ.
Where would we find you?
Oh, we meet at Olympia Crown Hotel on a Sunday. Our services begin at 10 a.m.
Okay, okay, okay. So, we are here to talk about that important thing that some people don't talk about,
Right?
insurance.
Yes.
And we are looking at both health and life insurance. Now, while we may be more familiar or easier to do health insurance, I don't
Hmm.
think a lot of us as Christians gravitate towards a life insurance because Jesus protects us, right?
Hmm. Yes, I
So
tell you.
I want to firstly ask you to explain to us the difference between health insurance and life insurance.
Well, first of all, health insurance is a living benefit. All right. Whereas life insurance is a death benefit. Life insurance, the funds from life insurance goes towards the beneficiaries or persons who are left behind. So if in the case of the death of a loved one, whatever was insured, whatever that person was insured for, whether it is 5 million, 10 million, $100 million, then that money would go to the beneficiaries of the person who was insured. All right. Health
Oh,
insurance, on the other hand, is a living benefit, which means you benefit from a health insurance plan. A health insurance plan basically gives you coverage for medical expenses. When I say coverage, what it means is that it pays for a portion of the medical expenses that you would have. Say you go to the doctor, a doctor's visit, or you have a major medical to do. A health insurance will take care of part of the cost. In most cases, I think in some cases it may take care of 100%, but in most cases it takes care of part of the cost. And in most cases, it takes care of the majority of the costs, up to 80% of the cost. So that's the difference.
okay, okay. But Pastor Corey, let me ask you this, let me in this capacity, Mr. Solomon. Let me ask you, would you, based on your experience, and you've been in the insurance business a while,
Sure.
do you think that Christians take time to focus on, or if they pay any attention to life insurance, or do they put more attention on health insurance?
Well, most persons put more attention on health insurance because people prefer to have the benefit um, to themselves, basically, right? But persons don't put emphasis on life insurance for more than one reason. Some have had difficult experiences with companies, and most times it's because of lack of proper information. Well, most of the times, lack of proper information, or they may have had bad experiences with agents, etc. Right? But these things are very important, right? You can do something you can't do anything to stop the emotional impact of the death of a loved one, but you can do something about the economic effect. And while we know that Jesus saves and I believe that Jesus can heal, right? In short, life insurance is just like your it's just like a car tire, right? You don't know when you will actually need it, but you ensure that you have it so that in the event that it's needed, then you make use of it, right? And life insurance also helps in financial prudence. It's a part of being financially prudent. All
Mhm.
right. I don't know. I don't want to anticipate some things, but there are some other areas that I will go into as we talk.
And like when you said that it's a part of being financially prudent, because we are talking about financial stability. As
Right.
Christians, we want to get to a place of financial wellness. So we would want to
Right.
consider having insurance, whether it is
Right.
health or life insurance. We want to consider those as a part of being financially stable, because we don't
Right.
know when we'll die.
That's
We
right.
really don't know when we'll die, and we want to make provision so the persons who are left behind don't have to be struggling and to do GoFundMe. You
That
know
is
what I'm
so
saying?
correct. And let's plug something here, right? When you take out a life insurance, it is not just for burial. A lot of persons think it's just for burial, but it's for far more than that, right? Burial is probably on a list of 1 to 10. It's probably down the bottom of that list, right? Your life insurance. Some people use it to ensure that they leave a legacy behind for their kids,
Mm.
right? So you find persons insuring themselves for 10, 30, 40, $50 million with the intent to ensure that if something happens to them, if they have small children, or even if they have adult children, if something happens to them, what the struggles that they would have gone through to buy a house, to have money in the bank, their children would not have that struggle just by having a life insurance policy, right?
Let me make trouble here, so 1 minute.
Mhm.
Because you see, I don't want to go have a 5 million life insurance policy, And then no. You understand? Somebody find out that I have a $5 million life insurance policy and decide to you know, hasten my
Well,
exit.
well,
Maybe
the
some
truth
people
is, the
maybe
truth of
some
the
people
matter is that that does happen. It's not on a wide scale, but that has happened, and we have heard cases of that.
yeah.
But that's why we try to find. That's why we try to ensure that we qualify our clients very well to know that these are people who are family oriented, serious about leaving a legacy behind for their family, serious about protecting the income. That's another thing. People use life insurance to ensure that the income that they are bringing in as the breadwinner, right, it continues if they pass. So a father might be earning $3 million a year, $2 million a year. He would say to himself, all right, what can I do to ensure that if something happened to me today, my family can still realize this $3 million? They can take care of the house, they can probably get rid of some loans that were there, but the same kind of provisions that I am now providing for my family, it will continue even in my passing, right? So they multiply that 3 million times, maybe times 4, times 5, times 6, so that for the next 6 years, 5 years, whatever it is, the family is realizing this money, right? And then you must have the conversation with your spouse or your family members, those who
Mhm.
are beneficiaries, to say, all right, this is there. Ensure that this is what is done with these funds if something should happen to me, right? And also for children, you properly educate your children, properly teach them how to handle finances. You don't just, and that's something that unfortunately in our schools is not a high priority in terms of teaching about finances,
Mhm.
managing finances, and that kind of thing. Just basics, accounting, and that kind of thing. But really managing, if you get a lump sum in your hand, what do
Yeah.
you do with that money? How do you invest? Where do you invest? What do you put down? If you don't have a house, do you buy a house? These kind of conversations you have with your kids so that it puts them in the right frame of mind. So
Mhm.
it rules out thought to do other things, or
But
may rule out the thought.
not just the school, past
Hmm.
Mr. Solomon. It's not just the school.
Hmm.
This is even Christendom, because in some church circles, we don't get that kind of a conversation going about financial management. That is why
Right,
we need a financial advisor, you see. So we don't have that kind of conversation. So a lot of persons are ignorant as
right.
to how to handle excess funds. Matter of fact, they don't even know to handle this small portion.
As a matter of fact,
Understand?
excess funds is almost like a sin in church. If you talk about having too much money, having wealth, it's almost like a sin in church, and that is how church has been cultured, not just in Jamaica but all over the world. That having money is a problem. There's a
Understand?
scripture that is always misquoted. That
Love.
money is the root of all evil.
What is the
Yes,
love of it?
right. It's a love of money. What we have to do is to learn management, and that is what God created us to be on earth. Managers. Say, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, dominate, subdue. All those things are management related words, right? And if we learn how to manage resources, including money, then we may not, we may not become lovers of it, because we realize that there is a bigger responsibility where money is concerned. And money is needed for the church right now. When we want to put on a roof, we have to have fish fry barbecue, and three-quarter of the time, well, a lot of the time, the money that is raised for these things can't do anything, or it's just a start, right? Or we do block drive or these things. Nobody's there to just cut a check, right?
Woo!
Or
I like
that
the
that
thought of that cut a check.
Yeah,
Oh God.
man. We
Mm,
need those kinds of people, and because people are not as prudent
as they
as they
should
need
be.
to be as it relates to finances. And prudence also means that we are thinking about business, thinking about how we can earn from business. I know we kind of sidetracking, but these
Yeah,
things.
because I got to reel it back in right here. So, but
Yes,
Pastor, I mean, excuse me, Mr. Pastor, Mr. Solomon,
yes.
can you explain the different types of health insurance plans and what makes the difference? What makes them different? If there are different types, what makes
All
them
right.
different?
I wouldn't classify health insurance as having different types. There are different companies that
Oh,
offer health insurance, right?
mm-hmm.
Guardian and Sagicor are the main ones locally that we know. You have international insurances, international health insurance as well, which is a lot more expensive than the local health insurance plans. But what happens is that there are tiers or levels of health insurance, right? So each tier may cover more or less, depending.
Oh,
And
okay.
the more it covers is the more the cost is, right?
Oh,
The more the premium increases, right?
oh,
So you pay a monthly premium and you get the benefit of using your health insurance, right? And these companies, of course, they give health insurance cards, which are swiped when you go to a doctor. So if the doctor does not use health insurance, then you can, if it falls within the parameters of what is offered in the health insurance package, then you can ask the doctors to give you a claim form. Fill
Okay.
out that claim form, take it back to
The
whether
relevant.
it's Guardian or Sagicor, so that you can
Okay.
recover the funds that you used up.
Okay, okay. Let me pause for a moment. Let me say you are listening and those who are viewing the Optimal You right here on Higher Ground Gospel Radio. We are talking about the matter of life, health, and life insurance. And we have today speaking with us from Marathon Insurance, Mr. Corey Solomon. So if you are on YouTube, I want you to drop me something. Say something in the comments. Any questions, anything that you have. And if you are on WhatsApp, remember the WhatsApp is 825-343-4486. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you even on the YouTube channel. No, Pastor Corey. Mr. Solomon. People stay with me. I'm used to him as Pastor Corey, okay? Um, Life insurance, as I said earlier, and I was joking around to say you don't want to take on a life insurance because you don't want anybody to hasten your exit.
Right.
But how does it work, and who should really consider purchasing a life insurance? Just the rich man, or the poor man, or the what?
I mean, everybody who is family oriented, if you are somebody who is a breadwinner for your
Mhm.
family, if you are somebody who cares about
Your
your
family.
loved ones, right, you should have insurance, right?
Mhm.
And also, you should have insurance to ensure that, God forbid, something happens to you, your family won't have to go out of pocket to take care of final expenses, right? So everyone needs to, because when the Lord is ready
Got to
to
move.
call you home, then somebody has to pay that bill, right? And if
Jesus.
nothing is in place, then it means that the family is coming out of pocket. So if the family is rich, then you might get a pass. But if not, you want to ensure that you have these things in place so
So
that.
life insurance is a serious thing. Just by that small statement that you just made, it's a
Mhm.
very serious thing, because you're saying to me, because a lot of us don't stop to think about death, or
Right.
even we do think about it. I ask a question, then when you die, how are you going to be buried?
Hmm.
How are the bills going to be paid? For
Right.
those who love to have nine night and all these things,
Right.
how are
And
they going to do that?
and as I said, that is just one thing. Other things include, if you're somebody that has a lot of loans outstanding, you have a lot of properties and that kind of thing, right? If something happens to you, who's gonna pay? Who's gonna make the payments? The family is gonna make the payments. Is it gonna go away? Is the bank just gonna say, okay, they are gone now, so let's move on?
The bank won't do that.
No,
The
no,
bank
no.
won't.
They are going to come to your estate and recoup, right? So if it means that your house is mortgaged and everybody live in the house still, then coming for the house, and everybody going to get put out because bank must get their money,
What
right?
is going to be, Pastor Corey? The bank is going to come and sell
Yeah,
what you
because it's
sell and get.
theirs. It's not yours until you have fully paid it off.
But the person dead. He died with them.
Mm-hmm. That, no, that with them. The loan is still there. Who's going to continue the loan? So you must be prudent enough to ensure that you put enough life insurance in place, so that if that happens, then the family can just pay off whatever bills, pay off mortgage, pay off loans. Persons with properties, who's gonna pay the taxes? Your family members, if you were the one handling that before. Oh, so put something in place so that those taxes, if you have properties, if you own properties, so the taxes can be paid, on a yearly basis.
This is very
So
serious.
yeah, man, it's an important thing to
Serious.
have in place.
Because listen, Pastor Corey. Now I might seem a bit dramatic, but listen, this is very serious. Because in some cases I thought, and forgive my naivety, because I thought that sometimes when people die, everything dies. Some things, not all, some things, die with them. The bank, they are dead. They have
Mm-mm.
no money to pay. And
No.
then you're saying here to me, no. That's why sometimes you see some people poor, and poor, after somebody dies.
Mm-mm.
Because the bank comes and throw them out of the house because they can't pay the money. The
That's
bank
right.
has to sell the house to recover their money.
Hmm.
People, I wonder
And
really
if
what's
and
going on.
if the house money, if the house is not good enough to cover what's there, they're coming for other things. You understand me? So
What you mean they're coming for? Pastor Corey, that's serious discussion we're having. It's not a joke discussion.
no,
This,
it's
no,
serious.
they're coming for other things. So you mean to say they're ensuring that they cover their
Yeah,
principal
man.
amount?
Yes.
Hold
Yes.
on, there are two
So
questions. There are two questions,
there
because
are two questions. Okay.
this is very heavy on me right now. This is not even the anointing right now. This is very heavy. This is very heavy. So somebody is asking in the WhatsApp chat, for the benefit of the persons who may not know, if you're single, or no, if I'm self-employed, can I
Mhm.
still go? And this is about health insurance. I don't know if you can touch on that. If I
Sure.
am self-employed, can I get health insurance? And that's in
Of course.
Jamaica. And how?
Well, there are individual plans and there are group plans.
Mhm.
When you're employed to a company, that company may take out a group plan, right, under which all the employees can benefit from health insurance. The company might pay for the entire amount, or they might pay part and the employee pays part. That's called a
Mhm.
group plan. If you're an individual, you can apply for an individual plan, whether from Guardian or Sagicor, right? Of course, there's a big difference between the premiums from a group plan and an individual plan,
You-
right? But once you can afford it, then go right ahead. It makes sense to get an individual health plan, right? And it's really just to get applications, forms, sign it up. Um, I think though the limitation in terms of age is age 60. Persons up to age 60 can apply, right?
And meaning
If
if you have any sicknesses, it might impact the premium, yes?
yes, because it's underwritten. It's underwritten. So if you have a medical history, a real serious medical history, they will look at that and determine whether or not you qualify for that health insurance,
What
right?
is this?
Because it's medically underwritten, right? If
That's
that person who just asked that question, if they have employees up to 5 persons, they can apply for a group plan, right?
also among themselves as employees, they can come
Right.
together.
They can apply for the group plan, and it's she or he,
That's she.
right? She can either decide, or the company can either decide to pay the full amount for everybody, or everybody pay for themselves, or the company pays part and the employee pays part, right? But if it's less than that, she would have to do an individual plan.
So five would be the max, the minimum rather.
Right. 5 is the minimum amount to qualify for group plans within a company.
Okay, let me move on to the other question, because this discussion here is getting me rather, concerned. For not
We
just
need to
for
speak
myself.
afterwards, eh?
But listen, I mean, Mr. Solomon, because
Yeah.
I had some misconceptions, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who had them.
Hmm.
Okay? All right. Now, what factors determines the cost of life insurance policies, and how can someone get the best rate? How do they evaluate it?
How can someone do what?
What are the factors that
Yes.
determine the cost of the life insurance policy, and how can someone get the best rates? How can I sit down and or do I evaluate to see if this is best and that is?
Okay. So age is one factor. Um, Gender, if you're male or female, as well, as well. So age, gender,
Yeah, but
as well as your medical history, as I said before, your medical history.
hold
Those,
on, Pastor Corey. We have to stop 1 minute because it's a discussion.
yes,
Age is a factor. So if you're
yes, age
getting
is
up
a
to
factor
close to 60,
because
yeah,
the older you get, is the more susceptible you are to different illnesses, right? Especially if you have not been taking care of yourself. So that it's a management of risk on the part of the insurance company. So they have to determine what kind of risk they are taking on. Because the truth is this: you can take out an insurance policy for $10 million. Maybe you're paying a premium, for argument's sake, of $5,000 per month. For whole life plans from day one, once the application has been signed and money is paid and all of that, the client, if the client go through the gate the next day and something happens to them, then the insurance company has to honor their commitment of that 10 million. So imagine the client paying $5,000 first premium, and then the company now paying $10 million.
Ouch.
Right? So it's a risk management. It's a business deal, right? So the company must manage that risk very well. So they look at your age, they look at your medical history, right? And they look at whether you're a male or female, right? Of course, males tend to do more risky things than females, right? So all of that.
Hello. Yeah.
Right. How can somebody get the best rates? Okay, so here's the thing. We can do it another way. Whatever your budget is, we can work within that budget to at least provide some amount of coverage, even if it's a minimum amount. But the point is that there must be some level of coverage to protect yourself and to protect your family, right? And let me plug this also. You have health insurance, you also have critical illness plans. Okay. Critical illness plans provides a lump sum, right? So you would insure yourself, for example, for maybe $5 million against certain illnesses named under a specific plan that you have chosen for critical illness. So the plan might cover cancer, heart attack, stroke, loss of sight, major burns, and other areas. If one of these illnesses occur within the time frame that you are able to claim on the plan, then you would claim on the plan. If you're insured for $5 million, then you claim for that $5 million. Now you would get a check. So it's not like the health insurance now where you have the card and the money swipe off the card for a specific thing. You will get a check once it is proven that yes, you were diagnosed with this or that. You get that check. So if God heal you, I never use the check. Oh, happy day.
Hey, woo.
Go and put down the money, go and reinvest the money, whatever. Or even if you use some of the money and you got better, you can do what you want to do with the rest of the money, right? But I do understand that critical illnesses can be quite a bit. So critical illness insurance is very important, right? Health insurance does not provide a lump sum.
No,
Period.
it does not.
Right? If you're doing a major medical, it might take care of the greater portion of whatever the cost is, but it does not provide you with a lump sum. So you can have your health insurance and you have your critical illness plan, right? You use your health insurance and you have the check that you're also going to use to help offset costs. So all these combinations is very good financial prudence on your part if you're able to put them in place, because it saves you, especially if you're in business. You don't want to be using up your capital to be taking care of sickness. A lot of people have run out of business because of sickness. You understand me? Millions and millions of dollars spending on illness because they had no insurance in place. So all of them capital, all of them profit have to be going into trying to make them better.
I have a question. So suppose I have an insurance at a critical health insurance at a different company. Can I switch it to Marathon?
Yeah. Okay. So remember, Marathon Insurance Brokers is a brokerage. We do business for all the major life insurance companies and general insurance companies. All right. So we do business on behalf of Guardian, on behalf of Sagicor. So typically, even if you're coming through Marathon, you would be placed whether under Guardian or Sagicor, depending on what we see fit at the time. You can change if you are insured under Guardian, you can switch to Sagicor at the at the year end, the end of the policy,
Okay.
right? Because every year it's a new policy that you start all over, so you can change at that point.
I have a critical health, we're coming down to the end of our chat today. I have a critical health at a
Critical
company.
illness plan.
Yes, that one at a company. But I have not heard from that agent because I've had it for years. When I say years, I mean years. And I've not heard from that agent in like the length of time I've had the policy. That's the length of time I haven't heard from the agent.
Wow.
So I don't even know if he's living or if he's dead. I really
Oh
can't
my.
tell.
Well,
I don't even
these
know
that's
what
a
I don't.
story of many. That's a story of many persons that, I mean, they would have lost touch with their agents for whatever the reason. And the communication is on both ends. Sometimes clients believe that only their agent must be the ones that is keeping up with them all the time. That's not the case. It's a dual relationship, right? I
But
try to
sometimes you
build.
forget about it. Sometimes you
Hmm?
forget to even have
No,
the
man, you can't
insurance.
forget about it
It's
because you're
coming out of
paying
your
for it,
pay. If it's coming out of your pay as a standing order, sometimes you don't
right?
remember say you're paying that. And
Well,
then
yes, true.
the agent don't even call to say there's a change or I don't even know how much it is. I need to go and check it.
Yeah,
Um,
but you can still reach out. You can still reach out,
I
whether
don't
to
have a
the
contact
agent
for him
or,
anymore.
pardon me? No, no. Okay, so you can reach out whether to the agent or to the company directly, right?
Oh,
Well, if even if you have an agent, you can still, if you feel so led to talk directly to
I shall.
Sagicor, you can, or Guardian, you can do that. You can also have multiple advisors. You can have
Hmm.
if you have an agent now, it doesn't stop you from having another agent, right? Or agents. It all
I-
depends on the need at a particular time and who is available to serve you,
But if I
right?
pull from them, I would lose.
So again,
If I pull from them, I would
you mean the
lose.
policy?
Yes.
No. If it's a policy that has savings on it, what you're not losing it. It's
No,
not.
it's years ago, man. You never have those things wasn't in effect yet.
And
Savings.
when you say pull from, if
Like
well,
if
if
I
the
cancel,
governance,
if I say I no longer want to be with this organization.
um, it depends on the plan that you have. So, like for
Okay.
example, if you have a triple protector, um, well, I wouldn't even recommend shutting down. There's no recommendation for shutting down any insurance plan, whether you're with Guardian or Sagicor. You don't shut
Okay.
down your life insurance or critical illness plans. You keep
Mm-hmm.
it, and take out another one if you want to do something else. But like
Oh,
I'm sure you need to have that reviewed because the cost at the time, the cost of living at the time you took out that
yes.
plan to now would have far surpassed the
And the
value
money
of
is
that
pretty
money.
petty cash. The money that you're gonna get is petty cash. I
Right,
can't even buy a prescription, fill a
right.
prescription.
So you need to review your plan. You need
I'm going to write that
to
down on my
increase
things to do.
your thing. No, you don't need. You're going to do what?
Write that on my things to do.
Okay, right, good.
Hmm. Okay, Pastor Corey. I think not the last question would have been answered already in terms of how do pre-existing conditions and age affect the health these insurance because we realize it's
Hmm.
going to be priced differently. The
Right,
premium is going to be different. But health insurance is great to have. It's important to have. But the life insurance is where the ding dong really is
right,
because
definitely.
you are thinking about your family. You're thinking futuristic. So it's
Right.
not just for now, but it's for the benefit of your family.
Yes.
And the bank will take all you have if you
Hmm.
don't have any money to pay it.
Right.
That's a serious part. They take your house.
Especially when you have loans and that kind of thing. That's outstanding. It's not the
Mm,
bank, it's the government. If you're not paying your taxes
mm.
on properties, right? Even the house, the taxes on the house, there's a problem. So, you
I
take out
thought
a
they
life.
all work like NHT because NHT covers everything.
Hmm.
When you
Right,
die, NHT, that's it. That's it with NHT for those
right.
who are
So,
in Jamaica. But it's not so with the banks. The banks will
right.
come and get their money from you.
Hmm.
I hope the listeners are listening, and I'm being dramatic and you're laughing and you're not paying attention. I hope you're listening because this is very serious. I'm thinking about it so strongly right now.
All right. So the banks, well, all mortgage companies, they normally take out a compulsory life insurance
Mm-hmm.
on your life, right? Equal to the value of your house,
Oh.
right? We normally recommend to clients that if they can do it, if they're when they're considering to buy their house, right? They can get a term plan equal to the term of the mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
and ensure that they insure themselves for the value equal to the value of the house, right? And then they can now say to the bank, all right, don't take out any more insurance. I have one here that is specific for this purpose, right? It can make some dollar difference in terms of what you pay on your mortgage, because the banks might, put a little on theirs, put a little bit more than what it really is on theirs, and they are in their right to do so. But if you have a term plan for yourself that you can assign to your mortgage policy, then that's a good option for you. Now, when you do that, if you have life insurance for that specific purpose, you don't have no personal life insurance. Once that is assigned to the bank, it's the bank's. So you still need to have personal life insurance for your family. All right. The bank will claim on that once you pass, right, to recoup their monies. All right. I think that's one way that they try to recoup their monies. Where there is any balance or so, then if nothing else is in place, then there's going to be a problem.
They're going to take it for all you have.
Mhm.
Well,
That's right.
not take the dead, the living
Mhm.
that remains.
Right, right, right.
People, let us talk about the remains. Okay. But, I mean, Mr. Solomon, thank you so very, very much for today. It was very informative. I
No
kid you
problem.
not. Very informative. I even feel nervous. I'm not saying I don't have any insurance, but I'm saying I'm nervous for the world right now. Because there are a lot of persons in Christendom, and that's where our point is, who are they're thinking you don't need it. Now,
Right.
people, those who are listening via the app or web, or those who are on YouTube, listen. If you need, and you're in Jamaica and you need to sort out this insurance matter,
Hmm.
please contact Marathon Insurance. You can speak to Mr. Solomon or you can speak to Mr. Douglas or whomever they refer you to. If you need the number, feel free to reach out to us at HGG and you will get the contact information. But
Right.
it is very serious that as Christians, as we look at the matter of financial stability, because listen, we want to be well as we do kingdom. We don't want to be in a position where we can't even support anything because we don't have the money. We want to put ourselves in a financial position that we can be of benefit to the kingdom, can be some kingdom financier. You get what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
want to be well in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And the physical aspect of things, finance is a part of it. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon, for talking with us today.
It was my pleasure.
We have left with a lot. We have left with a lot. Some of us may be nervous and we're not saying anything, but we are thankful. And we'll do this again, God's willing, next week, Wednesday, as we
Yes.
continue to look at financial stability. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Whoa, 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 people, people, people. You are listening to the Optimal You right here on HGG Radio and on the the YouTube segment. I'm even getting tongue twisted. Listen, if you don't have any life insurance and any health insurance, you need to jump on it, especially life insurance. The life insurance is critical. I'm very nervous for many people right now. If you don't have any life insurance and you have a house that you're paying mortgage through the bank, huh? And these things, if you go, your family is going to be in trouble. Your family going to be in trouble. So I want you to think about these things. We're going to go back over to the studio because it is time for the bus stop crew. Boy, I'm nervous. I pray for you. Christian people, you need insurance. Don't make anybody fool you. Don't be fooled with the idea that you don't need it. You do. Yes, the Lord covers and protects us, but we need insurance. Okay? I might be saying, but you're not going to die for now. You know when you're going to die? But if you have some links to know when you're going to die, talk to me off air. I'd like to know. Thank you so much for joining us on the YouTube segment of the Optimal You. We're going back over to the studio right now, and we are going to be tuning in to the Bus Stop crew because some stuff going on over there with Arville that we need to rectify. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye. Till next week, God's willing.
Everybody now,
get ready to be inspired with HGG Radio, your 24/7 gospel music companion in Edmonton, reaching the world. Owned and operated by Higher Ground Tabernacle Ministry, we feature a diverse range of styles from traditional hymns to contemporary hits and proudly showcase local Canadian talent.
I'm bold as a lion.
From Afro-Caribbean rhythms to inspiring programs, educational segments, and anointed and empowering announcers. Experience the full richness of gospel music. Plus, be nourished by the undiluted, rich word of God shared through powerful teachings and inspiring messages. Tune in for dynamic shows, life-changing truths, and uplifting music to boost your faith journey. Visit www.hggradio.ca, download our app, and partner with us to spread the joy.
I got joy.
Call us at 825-343-4486. Let the power of gospel music and the word of God fill your heart and home. HGG Radio, reaching you at the highest mountain and the lowest valley.